67. Marvel and Optimum. Marvel.
We marveled at the achievements of modern science. The spacecraft is the marvel of modern science.
Optimum.
We try to provide the optimum conditions for learning English vocabulary. Due to the back injury, her physical condition isn't at its optimum.
Miraculous.
Even doctors were surprised to see her miraculous recovery.
Sophisticated.
The machines are getting more sophisticated. She was a polite and sophisticated diplomat.
Complicated.
The human brain is more complicated than the most sophisticated computer.
Fame.
He achieved instant fame after he wrote the book.
Renown.
He has won worldwide renown as a peacemaker.
Prime.
Endurance is of prime importance in the expedition. The mansion is in a prime location overlooking the ocean. She is a dancer in her prime.
Glorious.
It is glorious to win the competition. We marveled at the glorious views of the coast.
Conquer.
Europeans conquered the native empires in the New World.
Notorious.
The military regime is notorious for human rights violations.
Expose.
A lot of people are exposed to various poisons every year. The report exposed the corruption of religious organizations.
Impose.
High taxes are imposed on the richest 1% of the population.
Revenue.
The strike cost the company $20 million in lost revenues. To cover the shortage of revenues, the country imposed high taxes on the people.
Drastic.
The government needed drastic measures to increase the revenue.
Dispose of.
The facilities were built to dispose of radioactive wastes safely. The facilities were built for the safe disposal of radioactive wastes.
Dismantle.
The engineers had to dismantle the machine to repair it.
Thorough.
Before writing the book, he conducted thorough research. Before writing the book, he conducted research thoroughly.
Discontent.
The discontent with the pay increase has caused the strikes.
Noted.
Korea is noted for its educational enthusiasm.
Note.
The boss sent me a note that he wanted to see me immediately. He took a note of what the president said at the interview. He left a $10 note on the table after the meal. The pianist started to play the first few notes of the music. It is worth noting that even the most successful people have failed many times.
Painstaking.
The painstaking effort involved in the restoration of the painting was worth it.
Precise.
The radar made it possible to find out the precise location of the aircraft.
Obscure.
The origins of the peculiar tradition remain obscure. It is hard to understand the obscure words of the prophet. Stop telling us irrelevant details. You are obscuring the main issue.
Sufficient.
There was no sufficient evidence against him.
Majestic.
The city is surrounded by the majestic scenery of the mountains.
Peacemaker.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the sons of God. Words in context. There are no absolute standards of optimum. When the car was invented, they marveled at the miraculous machine. It was noted as the most sophisticated and fastest means of transportation. Then the airplane was invented, and the superb machine was viewed as the most complicated and prime vehicle. Likewise, Human history has shifted drastically. As time goes by, the fame or renown of the marvelous and majestic past disappears, and it is doubted that the past was truly glorious. Once, the British Empire conquered many countries and enjoyed the glory of being the greatest power in the world. Then, times changed. It was revealed that the empire imposed heavy taxes on the colonies to raise revenues. Numerous notorious cases of brutality were also exposed. Some noted political leaders knew they had to dispose of the colonial rules. But there were people discontented with the idea of dismantling the empire. They insisted that the evidence was obscure, not sufficiently precise. But journalists made painstaking efforts to reveal the truth thoroughly, and the public came to realize that being a peacemaker was more glorious than being a conqueror.